All right. Hello, everyone. We are running late today. We got Blake and Kellett in North Carolina. We're both vaccinated, in case anybody's wondering. So all that good stuff.
There we go. Hello, everyone.
So we are here with episode 2 of DZone Live. Still getting all this live streaming stuff figured out, but thanks to all the DZone readers, contributors from around the world joining us. We've got people up in Asia, Europe, and North America, and we've got a jam-packed agenda for today. Sorry for running late. On my side of the house, we've got some cool upcoming events. We've got Justin Albano here to talk about one, and then we just launched last night. We're going to be doing an event with Dimitri on API security vulnerabilities. I'll put that into the chat. Kellett, anything on your side to note?
No, I'm just excited to be here.
Put him on the spot. All right. So our very first guest we're going to bring up to the stage is a longtime DZone contributor, Nicholas Frankel. How's it going, Nicholas?
Fine, and you both?
Awesome.
And the reason we have you here, just really quickly today, we recognized you as the DZone Java Champion of the Month for May 2021. When we look across your resume on DZone, almost at 4 million page views. You had 5 articles last month alone that drove over 20,000 page views. So how do you do it? And thanks so much for sharing all your Java expertise.
Thanks a lot. I'm writing. So first, thanks a lot. That's very nice. I really appreciate that. And I write 1 blog post per week, just give or take. It's just discipline, and I publish it at the beginning of the week of the week after. So, and I've been doing that for more than 10 years, I think. So every time I write. Sorry?
How do you decide what you're going to write? If you're writing that frequently, you must have a lot of ideas.
Actually, I work in IT, so my job gives me plenty of ideas. There is always something. It can be like related to my job, about, hey, let's do microservice, everybody, because microservices are great, but they are not. There is always something. Either it can be like a deep dive into some technical issue that I had, or an onion rant about some hype stuff that probably most people do. I mean, there is always something. And also I like to learn a lot. And I mean, when I learn something, I find it natural that I share it with people so that it's easier for them.
Awesome. So when I was just going through your blog history on DZone, I saw we actually featured you as Dev of the Month back in 2014. So you've been on DZone for a long time.
Yes, I've just checked. Actually, my first article was in 2009. So,
so you've been writing every week since then?
Sorry?
I said, and you've been writing every week since then?
I think I had at the time I hadn't set on a cadence yet, but I think that for like 10 years I've been writing for a week. I just missed 1 week. I think it was in last winter. I mean, the article that was ready, I just forgot to publish it for whatever reason. So it broke my streak, but otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty regular.
That's a pretty awesome streak. And maybe you can publish another one to make up for that missed one.
No. That wouldn't be proper. I mean, I own my mistake, and now it will be written in black ink all over my resume that I missed during the last winter. I missed 1 week. That's my burden.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And so, what outside of writing, what are you working on that's interesting?
Actually, I'm a developer advocate at Hazelcast, as you can see from it. So even when I'm not writing, I'm doing public speaking, or I'm trying to help our community, or I'm trying to help our product managers understand the needs of the community. I mean, And right now, of course, I'm not going all over the world. I'm going all over the world in a very virtual way, like today with you. So virtually, I visited South America, I visited India, I visited a lot of different places since 1 year. But I already got my first shots, and in 2 weeks I will get my second one. So my next trip is awesome. I'm French. I live in France, and I don't like Paris a lot. But my next on-site conference is in Paris, and I'm so happy. So it's the end of June, and yeah, even though it's not super great for me, I'm really happy to go there because I cannot just stay at home more. It's really depressing. I guess we are all in the same situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Nicholas. I put a link to your DZone profile in the chat, so everyone go and check that out. And congratulations once again as our DZone Java Champion of the Month.
Thanks a lot, folks. Have a good day, and stay safe.
See you later, Nicholas.
See ya. All right. Thanks. That's for Nicholas. And up next, our featured guest for episode 2. We've got a superstar joining us that many of you will know. We are going to welcome up Keshav Murthy, the VP of Couchbase. Let me see if we can get Jeff up here too. All right, so we've got Jeff on there too. Surprise, surprise, and Keshav. How's it going today, Keshav?
Hi, Blake. Hi, everyone. It's going great. Nice to be talking to you in the morning today.
Yeah, same here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Couchbase and what's exciting these days?
Sure. So the database industry itself is going through tremendous transformation. Relational databases have ruled the world for 40 years. Right now, Couchbase itself is what we call as a modern database that's designed for enterprises. That means, it's a fully distributed database, all the benefits of NoSQL with, we approach the developer ease of use with SQL-like query language called NQL, N1QL, stands for non-first normal query language. So it's a modern database that helps developers to understand the modern requirements of flexible schema, high availability, the ability to deploy in a scale-out environment like cloud. So that's what we have built. So now, once you build database, you need to communicate the value of the database, also how to develop on a database platform easily to your developers. So how do you do that? The approach, one of the approaches we have taken is, well, what do developers know? What jobs do they have? I mean, usually, developers for the longest time, they have a model of their data, and they need to do the CRUD operations, and they need a language to manipulate the data, and they need a way to program. And we already have, developers already have a mental model of Oracle, SQL Server, etc. And in the last few years, MongoDB has taken up that mantle, and MongoDB has become very popular. So the idea for this article was, well, start with what people already know, right? If a lot of developers already know Couchbase, know MongoDB, how do you explain the data model, the data access, the query language, and the architecture of Couchbase to these developers very easily, so that they can just learn, map what we have in Couchbase into their model and get on with developing applications on Couchbase easily. That was the idea behind the article. That's why I took from basic architecture, what are the different objects, the data types, the query language, the SDKs. And then once you have the objects, you have to explain what are the indexes, how does the optimizer work, how do the transactions work, how do you analyze data in this database. So I have just, in this article, I've taken people through basics all the way to optimizer and the transaction. So they have a mental model of what Couchbase is, and they can apply what they already know into learning this very quickly and get going.
Awesome. And Blake, you want to drop the link to the article in the chat so people can check out Keshav's latest article. And I noticed that you actually have a pretty long history of writing articles as well. So have you found that kind of taking this approach where you look at something developers are familiar with and kind of translate it into something that to help them learn something new, is that really a good approach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this reminds me of kind of a old anecdote regarding Einstein. Somebody asked Einstein, how do you explain wireless communication to the masses? Right? People don't understand. There is no wire. How does it work? He said, you take a cat, stretch it from New York to Los Angeles. You speak at one ear, you hear at the other ear. Except the difference is there is no cat. So, I mean, when you have to explain a complex bit of technology, you have to start with something they know, right? That's the idea. So people know relational databases. We have got other resources where we start with a relational database, and then once you start with what they know, how does it map? How does the new technology map into their current knowledge, and what are the tweaks? What are the differences? So then people say, this is what is the new model, and this is the delta, and they can get on with it. So similar, the approach, I mean, like I said, in this article, the approach was, okay, start with what they know, and then add the delta.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really thoughtful approach, and hopefully it makes the topic really approachable for people that are new to certain technologies. So thought it was really well written. Thanks for sharing it with us.
Thank you. Yeah, and so just, if you want to say a little bit just about your history on DZone, you've got over 50 articles that have reached over 500,000 pages. Yeah, that is just amazing.
Absolutely. Again, DZone has been a fantastic platform. Our motto is, we can develop and put it on our website, but people will not come to us. We need to go where the developers are. And DZone is a place where I myself learn many things on a daily basis on DZone. It's a great way to learn, and we also found a great way to share with other developers. That's why I'm not as consistent as the first featured. I wish it's a great goal to have. But I've been writing for about 5 years now on a regular basis, and I get great feedback, and even our own customers are on DZone platform. So we want to be there. And this has become the new water cooler for developers. So we want to be there talking to our developers and learning from our own developers, and also helping developers as well.
Well, thank you so much for continuing to share all of your insight and your tutorials and everything with our community. I think just having people like you, sharing what they know is what DZone's all about. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate all your support, and your staff is fantastic.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, and have a great rest of your day. Keshav Murthy, everybody, VP of Couchbase. Be sure to check out Couchbase.
Thank you.
All right, and up next, there he is, the man of the hour, another person out of North Carolina, not in the same office as us, but just as cool. So, Jeff, we will let you, let me find where, all right. So, Jeff, take it away. I don't want to, you going to share the screen?
Nah, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Blake, and hey, great job putting this together. Good to see you too, Kellett. I'm about 20 miles away from where Kellett and Blake are as we speak in beautiful North Carolina. But today, really wanted to talk a little bit about the solutions that DZone offers many software companies and other marketers out there that are looking to creatively and effectively and actively engage the DZone audience. And I have the privilege of working with many of our valued partners, including Keshav's colleagues over at Couchbase. on a day-to-day basis, helping them engage the audience. So we can do that in a myriad of ways, and I just want to take the next minute or two to just from a 10,000 foot level talk about that. So most of the time when we're talking to our valued partners, there's a couple of focuses. Normally it's either awareness, where we're talking display advertising and or content contribution, serving display ads around content within the DZone site. And they can do that in different ways, including run of site. So we can help them place their logos and ads and content across all of the DZone site, or they may opt to choose a specific zone. And as many of you know, we have 14 zones here at DZone, and we work with many partners that may want to target just database, or maybe do a dual database, big data, cloud, IoT, really runs the gamut. So we're helping our partners, engage the audience and in that way from a targeted perspective in display. They could also, we work with several partners that will provide us, they'll take a look at their Google Analytics and provide us 20 or 30 keywords that really resonate well with their audience, and then we will place their ads around content that is relative to those keywords on our site as well. So really exciting, neat stuff that our partners are seeing terrific results with on the awareness side. On the lead gen side, we offer several products, and that could run anything from straight content syndication, where we are offering our partners ebooks and white papers and material that they have via direct push to our audience, to very, very specific members of our audience, whether it be title, industry, interest levels. So content syndication is a very popular solution that we offer our partners and that they take advantage of. But we also, and I know Lindsay talked about this last week, offer on the publication side ref cards, which are short form cheat sheet types of publications that really resonate strongly with the DZone audience, and our partners have 100% share of voice. Also, our trend reports that are more longer term, 12 to 18 months out. Those trend reports are very focused, and Kellett does a fantastic job in coming up with topics. For the balance of the year, I'll just throw out a few: CI/CD, data science, no code, low code, Kubernetes in the enterprise, and application security are just several that we have coming in the back half of the year. So our sponsors can utilize those as well. Webinars, webcasts, whether they're on demand or live, we're helping partners do that. And then just wrapping it up, direct response. So we've got several direct response vehicles, whether it be email, very targeted email campaigns, or newsletters. And those newsletters could be a daily or a weekly or specific zone spotlight that our partners are taking advantage of. So, lots of neat solutions that, the people on this call, maybe your marketing team has a need for that type of engagement with the DZone audience. Please feel free to reach out to Blake, and he can connect you to the right people here at DZone to help you.
Thanks, Jeff. And I think the key to all of this is, at DZone, our goal is to help connect people with solutions to their challenges. So a lot of times that comes in the form of content. Sometimes that comes in the form of connecting our readers with the right solution provider. And that's what we aim to do. So always be relevant, always help people solve their problems. And Jeff is here to help anybody who wants to help find people who have a problem that they can solve.
You got it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate being on here, Blake. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Have a great day. All right, and moving along, that was Jeff at DZone. Up next, we've got Justin Albano. So let me get him up to stage. Hey, Justin, how's it going? All right, you are live.
It's like on a news feed when they have the lag between the correspondent.
Yeah, exactly. I guess his audio's out, maybe.
Can you hear us, Justin? Can you?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you. Are you muted?
and put it into the chat.
Oh no! Well, everyone, we're just going to stare at Justin's face for a few minutes. Can you pantomime what you were going to tell us?
I'll give it just a second here, but
Can you guys hear me now?
yeah, we got you.
There we go.
Technology.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we've got our very special guest, Justin Albano, also super active in Java, longtime DZone contributor, Hall of Fame member. We've got an exciting event coming up with our very own Kellett as the host moderator, working with Justin, and we're taking his DZone article, The Death of Freedom by Software, and doing a live event. So if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, sure. I know it's not my normal type of article. Usually they're more technical or Java-based, but I guess in the last probably year, this one's probably become, at least in my opinion, just as important as anything Java-related or even like security-related. Just because it's a topic that's kind of been in the news for good and bad, and it's a pretty controversial topic, but it's kind of centered on the software industry and software developers. So it's something that we should definitely talk more about from a development perspective and not just a political or news perspective. So it'd be good to, in the next couple of weeks, talk with Kellett about just some of the things that are going on and things that we can do as software engineers to make sure we kind of change our course and make sure we're not headed down a wrong path here.
Yeah, I think what I'm most excited about, Justin, when it comes to this topic is I think you're asking people to think beyond just the code they're writing or the single problem they're solving. Think about the broader context of, the influence that software has in our lives and, the responsibility I think that comes with being the people that build that software. So I think it's going to be an awesome topic to explore. If anyone who's listening now, if you haven't read Justin's article, please check it out. Awesome. I think Blake will drop it into the chat here. And we look forward to just kind of exploring that side of software development and hopefully having a good discussion that gets people thinking a little more deeply about, what role software plays in our lives.
Definitely be relevant for day to day. Like if I had to do an update on the article, it'd probably be twice or three times as long by now.
I don't know if our servers can handle that. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's I hope it's not just a single article. I think it's totally a worthy topic to cover, and hopefully as we talk about it more and think about it more, we'll be able to expand upon kind of the discussion in multiple pieces.
Yeah, great. And that's going to be on Wednesday, June 16th at 11 a.m. In the chat, we put a link where you can RSVP for that. We also put a link to the article, The Death of Freedom of Software by Justin Albano. So thank you so much for joining us, Justin. Can't wait for this event.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. And up next, we have a trending article. It's just been on DZone for a few days, but already trending. So why not have them on? So we've got, let me get here really quick. Alexander.
Hi.
Hey, thanks so much. Really great to have you writing on DZone. So we're going to have you on today. Your article, The Power of Software Visualization, has been trending, and I just thought it'd be great for you to tell our DZone audience from around the world a little bit about this article and what you're trying to achieve with it.
Yeah, the article basically shows you how you can use static analysis to analyze software and come to quick results. So that's basically, I'm working on a software visualization tool since 2005. In my Twitter bio, you will see defeating big balls of mud since 2005, because that's our mission. So many software systems end up basically as a big ball of mud with lots of dependencies and hard to maintain and hard to understand. And my argument is, hey, if you look at your stuff occasionally with a static analyzer and get some metrics, you can avoid these situations because you get early warning signs. And for that article, I had a look at Apache Cassandra. And my starting point was basically, we just added a new feature to our tool SonarGraph, which allows a 3D visualization of a software system. We call this a software city. So every source file is basically a building in the city. The footprint of the building is determined by its size in lines of code or whatever, how you want to measure it. And then you can add 2 more metrics to the visualization. And you can choose them freely. And for that article, I looked at change frequency. How often is a file changed in the last year? And complexity. So the building height is basically determined by complexity, and the change frequency is the color of the building. And if you do this with Apache Cassandra, you will find very quickly that one building that is not very high, means it's not very complex, but has a large footprint and a dark red color, means it's changed frequently. It's also pretty large, because it has a large footprint. It means probably people are standing on each other's foot there all the time and have to commit it all the time with any change they're going to make. And then I just went down the rabbit hole and checked, hey, how is this class connected to the rest of the system? And guess what? I found pretty quickly it's a real God class. It's connected to everything and is using everything. There's lots of incoming and outgoing dependencies. And then if you continue to analyze it, you will see that those God classes also lead to a lot of cyclical dependencies. And one of my experiences with larger software systems is if you let this happen, it will get worse over time. And I tried to prove that with Cassandra. So I looked at Cassandra already many years ago at version 1.2.6. And at that point, I noticed, hey, they have a pretty big cycle group. That's basically a big cyclical dependency between Java files and or between whatever. It's language independent, the concept is not depending on Java. And so this cycle group was already something like 400 Java files in one big cycle. I call them code cancer for a reason, because usually they're growing, getting bigger and bigger and eat your system. And I could prove that with Cassandra. With Cassandra version 3 had something like 900 elements in this cycle, and Cassandra version 4 ended up with 1,300 elements in that same cycle. So the code tumor has grown quite a bit. That doesn't mean that the software is bad. It's obviously a very successful open source project. It just means that there's not a lot of architectural constraints visible in that code base. And architectural constraints make everything easier, from understanding code, reading code, testing code, and so on. And making it secure also is another important argument. So that was basically the gist of the article. And we also, just for information, we have a very cool free version of Sonograph. Sonograph Explorer is absolutely free, can be used in commercial projects, wherever you want to do it. Just register on our website, hellotomorrow.com, and get the free license. It has a lot of visualizations. It doesn't have the 3D view. That's for our paying customers, but still, it's very useful to get metrics and to have an idea how your software is structured.
Excellent. Thanks, Alexander. And I see you've been writing on DZone since 2014. How did you first discover DZone?
Well, I think I was Googling something, and DZone popped up and said, hey, that's a cool little site. Let me see if I can get some articles published here. I have to admit, I'm not as good as Nicholas. So I had, I think, 5 or 6 articles published by now, but I'm really thinking about writing a little bit more, because I'm writing blog articles. I'm not pushing all the blog articles I write to DZone at this point, because some of them are very product specific. But this particular article is very general in nature, so it doesn't really, it's too much dependent on the product. It's more about concepts. And as soon as I have those articles, I will definitely push them over to you guys.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And we put a link to your article, The Power Software Visualization, in the chat. It's a trending article in DZone. Don't miss checking it out, and lots of other great articles from Alexander. So thank you so much for taking time out to join us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. That was Alexander. About 36 minutes into this, doing great today. Up next, one of the big heartburns a lot of people have is finding the right microservices framework. So we're going to have special guests on today to talk about their article on top microservices framework. So let's get them up to the stage. And I think we got both the authors.
Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning, all of you.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for giving this opportunity. Yeah, today I am going to discuss about, okay, I am writing some articles in DZone for last 10 months. Okay, this is my 9th article on top microservices frameworks. Okay, nowadays when we are talking about microservices, everyone talks about one or two specific microservice frameworks. Okay, rather than going for other microservices. So while I am working for microservices for last 4 to 5 years, 3 to 4 years, and then I understand that most of the companies or most of the resources are towards very specific one microservice framework. So I want to give some thoughts how to choose a microservice framework, okay, from the selection criteria, how to select the microservice framework, not even microservice. If you want to select any framework, how do you select it? Okay, there I have written some parameters here. Like first we have to choose the popularity of the framework. How much popular in the market? Suppose if I adopted one microservice framework today, if that will be ended in next year, so I have to rework once again in my projects. So first of all, I have to choose a right popular microservice frameworks, and then I have to check the community of the framework. How much community is there in the market right now? Is I am getting any support from the community, like DZone? How many articles are there in the DZone on the specific framework? And then easy of development. Right now, the business is not waiting a long time. So we need to check how much easy we can go for a development. Like if you go for annotation base, otherwise Spring is having their own framework to easy development. Likewise, all the frameworks is having their own ways to develop. And learning curve, how much easy we can learn that framework. Okay, suppose today this is in a software industry, every day we have to learn the new things. So how much easily I can learn that new technology or new framework? How much architectural support I can get it? And then how much automation I can able to support from this framework. So right now we are going for a lot of automation activities like unit testing of my application or system testing of my application. All the things I need to go for automation. How much automation support for this framework is important. Okay, and then after that, okay, I can independently deployable. Is it independently deployable or not? And suppose the newer versions are coming up, how much I can deploy the newer version without impacting the existing framework, existing this thing. These things I need to consider for selecting the right framework. This my main intent of this article, along with me, Kiran has supported in this article. He is also one of the blogger in DZone, and he supported writing this article. So at that time, we thought that how we need to choose the right framework. So in the comparison point of view, here we have given some frameworks supported in different languages. The list, whatever we have provided, is very limited in nature. Okay, most of the projects using right now in the industry that we have quoted here, like Java is one of the prominent language. Right now, around 42% people are using Java. Go language, Python, Node.js, and .NET framework is there. Some microservices are supporting multi-language support also. There we can design the microservices using some different languages like Java and Kotlin sort of a thing. In a Java point of view, most of the people right now are using Spring Boot as a microservice framework. So when we talk about any microservice, everyone talks about Spring Boot. Not even Spring Boot. They're having a lot of microservice frameworks are there. Okay, when we go to the cloud environment, we have a lot many frameworks are there. Here, here we are giving as a thought how microservices are there and how you need to choose the best microservices in the industry. Okay, not more than that. And here And then this we can extend it into part 2 also. Okay, each microservice we will take and we will extend on each microservice. Okay, how the microservice will work and how to adopt that microservice in the projects. Yeah, that's all from my side. Any questions?
Yeah, that was a lot to take in, and I think choosing the right framework when it comes to microservices is always tricky. So it's great that we're able to have that article that you wrote with your friend there. We did put a link to it into the chat, and I see that you first discovered DZone last year. How did you discover DZone, and what got you into writing on it?
Yeah, I'm seeing articles in DZone for last couple of years. Okay, I'm working in IT industry for last 20 years, but I'm not concentrated on writing articles in any one of the forums. So last year I thought that as a career growth point of view, as well as my whatever I know that I need to give it to I need to explain to other persons also as a project experience. Last year I started writing some articles. So last year I think June, July something, I started writing that articles. So
Yeah.
till now whatever I have gone through for last 2 to 3 years, whatever projects I worked over there I have taken some of the topics and I have written some of the articles in DZone.
Yeah.
So already I have a pipeline. I have another 10 or 15 articles are there. So right now we are preparing that in a proper format. And once everything is ready, and we publish down the line in next 2 to 3 months time.
Oh, wow, that's great. I mean, already just in a year, 9 articles that have gotten over 50,000 page views. So that's really impressive. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Along with this thing, Kiran also there. Along with me, Kiran also there. Thank you, Kiran.
Yeah, thanks to both of you for that great article. And Ravi, Kiran, thanks so much for your time today. And thanks for joining us. And have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you.
All right. And moving along, we've got 2 special guests, and I'm going to let our SEO expert at DZone. That's right. We've got an SEO expert at DZone called Hayata. He is amazing, to say the least. And he's been working with Bartek out of Poland. So I'm going to let them take it away and talk about 2 of Bartek's latest articles. So let me get them up to the stage.
Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Bartek. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
Hayata.
Hey, good. So I'm Hayata. I'm an SEO analyst at DZone, and I've been working with this guy, Bartek. Yeah, we've been having exciting days, and we've been improving, his content. So can you tell us, who you are, introduction of yourself, and how did you first discover DZone?
Okay, so in general, I'm a Java developer with some experience in writing Java applications. As of now, I'm focused on Scala and everything connected to functional programming. About how I discovered DZone. A year ago, I wanted to start writing to share the content I create with other people, and in the end, the first site which is doing publishing articles don't want to cooperate with me, but then I find DZone as the site which is willing to cooperate.
That's great. Yeah, that's how we got you, on this, which is great. Yeah, thank you for coming, in the first place. And thank you for that website, kind of like rejecting it. So that's
fortunately for me and for this.
But fortunate for us. Yeah, thank you so much. So, your latest content is video streaming with AKKA streams. Yeah, how did you come up with this idea? How do you usually generate content ideas? Yeah.
Okay, so here it is like more specific because I was always interested how this whole streaming works. It's very popular and hot topic as for today. Everywhere you've got some streaming platforms, streaming this, streaming that.
Yep.
One of the biggest companies now, like Netflix or Amazon, have their own. have their own streaming platform and streaming services. So I always wanted to get more knowledge about it. And after some time, I decided to write down what I read and add something additional from myself. So I decided to write an article in which I will describe the implementation of simple streaming service.
That makes sense, yeah. So what about Keycloak content? If you Google Keycloak, it's actually the fourth content piece on Google, and it's the first educational content. So the first hit is, keycloak.org, and then the second one should be like Wikipedia or something. And then if you look at the fourth position on Google, it's actually your content. Yeah. How do you feel about this? It's success, right? Yeah, and how do you feel about optimizing, your content pieces with DZone? I mean, me.
Yeah, cooperating with you and learning SEO is one of the best things which I get from writing article on DZone. I like fighting to get more optimized content and doing everything to reach wider audience. That's all.
Yeah. So, and you are very close to 100,000 page views on DZone, in total.
I'm missing 2,000 views to reach 100,000.
2,000 more. Okay. So when you have 100,000 page views, what would you do? So would you celebrate with your family or?
I will make a party, and here I am.
100,000 page view party. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for it very impatiently, let's say.
Yeah. So you've been working with me very, proactively right now, and do you feel confident about SEO? More optimize the content creation.
For sure, I'm feeling more comfortable with it than before. Now I understand some basics. Before I just knew the term, that what is it and what is it is connected with. Now I can, let's say, try to optimize something on my own and not totally destroy what I've done.
Sounds good. Yeah. So Bartek has been the best core member who is most curious about SEO, and I've been enjoying working with him. And thank you for joining us today.
Also, thanks to DZone for taking me in.
Of course, yeah. And, in the future, we want more, contributors like Bartek, so, we can provide a quality of content in 2021-22. So stay tuned. That's it. Thank you, Bartek.
Thank you, Hayata, and thank you all for your time and listening.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for that. So that was Bartek and Hayata. Up next, we've got Naomi. So we'll get her up.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey there, Naomi. So I'm going to let you take it away, and I'll put a link to the webinar in chat so people can get it.
Sounds good. So I'll talk about some of the webinars that we have coming up. We've got 4 live webinars coming up, starting with next Thursday, June 10th. We've got Kubernetes Identity and Access Management Made Easier with D2IQ, where we'll explore the benefits and challenges of using EKS, AKS, or GKE for Kubernetes multi-tenancy, as well as best practices and tools for success. Up next on June 16th, we have MariaDB's How to Evaluate a Distributed SQL Database, where you will learn what a distributed SQL database is, what differentiates it from different types of databases, as well as the kinds of applications and use cases that are appropriate for distributed SQL. And after that, join us on June 22nd for Designing Snowflake for Scalable Data Applications. And you'll learn how to implement scalable data applications powered by Snowflake that deliver a great experience to your customers and get advice on tenancy options that best meet the needs of your application. And then finally, on June 28th, Acquia will present Low-Code Tools and Decoupled Components, the Best of All Worlds. This webinar will break down the difference between decoupled and a hybrid architecture, and you'll learn the limits of a fully decoupled approach, what low-code means to developers, how hybrid architecture supports innovation and agility, and much more. And that wraps up our schedule of upcoming webinars. But just a reminder, you can find all upcoming and on-demand webinars on our website at dzone.com/webinars. And all registration is free. Back to you, Blake.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Naomi. We've got a link to the chat as well. So if you just want to go to chat, you can get it or check it out. So thanks for that update on our DZone webinars, and lots of great stuff coming up in June. All right. And then moving along, we've got Nick. Let me get Nick up. So 1 second here. All right. Welcome back, Nick. So
thank you.
Linear B, Agile Kings, DZone, Dev Interrupted. So always so much exciting stuff going on. So the stage is yours. What's going on in the land of DZone and Nick and Linear B and all that Dev Interrupted good stuff?
Yeah, we got a new podcast out this week. Chris Brookins of AppQs, he's the VP of engineering there. He's talking about how to work in a remote world, culture and work process and all that kind of stuff. That's exciting. It was really interesting and good. You can get that on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. It's the Dev Interrupted podcast. If you search for that, you'll find it. And we'd love to have you tune in. Later today, I am going to be posting to DZone a blog post entitled 8 Questions I Had as a Software Development Manager. I'm pretty new at Linear B, been here a couple months now, and one of the first things they did for me was give me a demo of the product. And I just sat there and stared at it going, oh my gosh, I wish I'd have had this when I was a software development manager, because it's just full of excellent information and excellent data, excellent metrics and stuff like that. So I posted about 8 questions that I had that actually can be answered now that there are tools like Linear B out there. And finally, I just want to encourage everybody to come over to our Discord community. You can find out more about it at linearb.io/Discord. We have great conversations there every weekday of the work week. We ask a question every morning and get some good content, good information going around, and all that fun stuff. And that's all I got for you today.
Great. Anything exciting with technology or anything sort of trends or anything of late that kind of jumped out to you that excited you?
I'm going to say that I'm pretty excited about some of the feedback we've been getting on our Worker Bee feature. We've got an event coming up. I don't have the details on it yet, but if anybody's interested in that, they can email me at nick@linearb.io, and I would be happy to make sure you get signed up for that.
Excellent. And last time when we had episode 1 of DZone Live, you were going out to your daughter's wedding. I assume everything went great for that.
Yeah, it was great. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law all came in for that. The couple was successfully married and had a great honeymoon in Myrtle Beach. And I now have a son-in-law, which is kind of a newer thing for me. And he has a truck, which is always good. I can hit him up for whatever I need on that end.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your daughter getting married. And
thanks for asking. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good. I mean, it's people's always curious with that sort of thing, and it's always different in a pandemic for sure as well. But lots of exciting stuff going on over at Linear B. Thanks for joining us today. I did put links in the chat where you can find all that good stuff, and then maybe Nick will be around on the Q&A. But thanks for joining us, and then if you're around for the Q&A, we'll have you up again.
Okay, thanks.
All right. And then our final guest before we go to Q&A, we are going to turn it over to and get up to the stage, Alariza. And there's no need to shift left, no shift left needed if it is Alariza. Almost tried it right.
There is no left. There is no left, just shift right.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on the right side.
Yeah, exactly. I just keep shifting left.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. Happy to be here again. First of all, I think it's good to mention that last week we had a really good session about the CI/CD pipeline, And we had some guests, and they were Stephanie, Ajay, and Embra. And I think it was a really nice discussion. Personally, I really enjoyed it because we did cover a lot of topics around Kubernetes, GitOps, and the challenges regarding security, CI/CD pipeline, and many other things. I didn't have the link ready, but maybe Blake, if you just
I will
post the
do
link,
that.
if you have it somewhere.
Yep.
I really do suggest, because we got a really good feedback from people about that session. Many people said, yeah, they really liked it. And I think that was a good initiative for us to see if we can do the same sessions. Again, invite the specialists from the different countries, different companies, and see if we can share our experiences with each other. So after that, yeah, I'm really busy with preparing some new events for DZone. And one of them is the kind of continuous program about the job. We didn't pick up the name yet, but we talked about something like job track, because I think it's the most interesting topic for most of the people in this industry, to understand where they are and where they are going and where they would like to be in the future. So, and I think it's good to see also what other people have done already to improve their knowledge, to improve their position, to get a new job, and what's happening in the market. The good news is I'm already in contact with so many recruiters, and they are really willing to share their knowledge and their information about the market with us. Could be really interesting. So, yeah, we are busy to prepare for that, and as soon as we got more information, we will share it with you guys to see how they can see it. And yeah, I had a chance to read some articles, the recent articles, and I think it's good to also encourage the newcomers. For this one, I picked up 4 of the articles, and I'm going quickly to name the name of the articles. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to bring it to you, Blake. But yeah, I think would be enough to say the title of the articles to find it out. The first article is from Charles Carey. The article is about the advice for someone moving from SRE to backend engineering. This is a really nice article mentioning about the required skills to become a good developer, and also talking about the back and forth moving from the SRE role to the developer. I think it's good to read this article because it also gives you kind of knowledge if you're a SRE engineer and you're thinking about the backing to where you were in the past as a developer, or you want to try it. It's a kind of good article to tell you what kind of things you need to know and how you need to look at it. I really suggest to read this article. This is the first article from Charles Carey in DZone, and I think it was a really good beginning. Welcome to DZone, Charles. And the next article is about the on-demand software release with agility. This article was written from Major Jagtap, if I said it correctly. In this article, briefly, Major will discuss about the on-demand release. He briefly introduced what the on-demand release is and how it's different from the existing release procedure in the companies. It's quite short and it's quite useful if you want to get some information about the on-demand release. So the next article is written by Tom Pham. The title of the article is 7 Ways to Manage Pull Requests. I think most of the developers are dealing with which they are working with the code versioning, like GitHub. They are dealing with the pull request, and this article is a really good summary about what are the ways you can actually handle the pull requests in your team. I really suggest to read this article. It's not that long, but it's quite useful. And the last one is about the code review. Code review is quite also challenging in teams, and there are a lot of different ways to do that. And the title of this article is 9 Best Practices for Effective Code Review. This article is written by Daria Bogret-Sova, if I said it correctly. And in this article also, there are 9 best practices for effective code review. And I found it quite interesting. And I think this is one of the things also I have been doing in my the different assignments with companies, and I found it quite generic. So that's why I do suggest to have a look at these articles. And these new writers I named, they are new in DZone. And these articles, I said that it's a first article they wrote for DZone. Welcome to all of you. We do appreciate that you're actually part of this community and you're sharing your knowledge, and keep going. And yeah, and the last thing is for my side is I'm busy with the trend report. I'm helping the new trend report regarding the infrastructure as code. And I already finished my article and it's under the review. So hopefully it's going to be interesting trend report about the infrastructure as code, infrastructure automation and things around it. So I think that was a quick update from my side, Blake.
Yeah, that's really great, and especially to spike out some of our new authors and creators on DZone. So we'll be sure to get links to that when we get the article for this up. And also for the archive version, we'll be sure to put links in there for the articles authors that you spiked out today. So I guess, and some exciting events that we'll be working with Alariza for June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, yeah, just on and on and on. Alariza's
of course,
a wealth of amazing, timely, resonating stuff. So it's really great to have him here. And so we're going to turn it over to Q&A. It looks like Samantha's going to kick us off. Let me get everybody up the stage. I'll leave you on here. I'll change this up. I'll get Nick on. Hayata's there if he still wants to be on. I got Bartek. I'll get Ravi up.
Hi, everyone.
All right. Wow. Look at everybody. So what was our first question here? I think it's from Samantha. So it's for Alariza. I'll put it up on the screen.
Yes, someone asked about my computer. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually the new PC I got. It's a game PC. It took for me 2 years to come up to this PC, but yeah, it doesn't allow me to go to sleep. I would tell you that. So one of the problems with the RGB gadget, yeah, you're just playing with the RGB all the time.
Excellent. So that's our first question from Samantha. So if you're listening or watching from around the world, you can also put in chat what city or location you're from. If you have any questions on DZone or for any of our guests that we still have on, put those into chat. We'll be happy to talk about it. Lauren says, love it. So Lauren runs our great Twitter account, Facebook. So if you're seeing all the great stuff on there, that's our very own Laura Forbes. All right. So let's see. So we got a great panel here today. Do y'all have any questions for each other? Let's try it that way. And crickets. Whoa, that stumped everybody.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, mic drop. Yeah. Awesome. So I guess today, so what's the sort of like, what is like one buzzword that everybody here is like really hates? It seems like every month there's a new buzzword that pops up. What's one that's really annoying you of late?
Buzzword.
Yeah.
Gosh. That's annoying.
I think the problem is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the problem is not buzzword. It's how something become a buzzword. I think what is behind this. What is behind this? It's a lack of knowledge that most of the time is happening. That because we see for example, in my side, all the time people are talking about the DevOps, talking about the SRE, and all of those kind of things, but not knowing anything behind these things. And I always suggest people, if you talk about the DevOps, do you know why DevOps happened? Why Agile happened? I think this is really important to address. At least from our side, I do feel responsible to all the time try to explain these things to people rather than saying about the DevOps or shift left, right, which we are making fun of that all the time, talking about the practices. And when they understand it, they say, okay, this is DevOps, And I think this is what we really need to do. Otherwise, I think we are really bombarded by a lot of titles, which most of the time I would say not everyone knows exactly what does it mean.
I confess I haven't been up on the buzzwords lately, so maybe I should be more in tune with what the buzzwords are.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for some of the events, every other word is either anti-patterns, shift left, paradigm shift, win-win, full stack.
Shift left is very big. That's one I had to look up, actually. I thought that was good. I like it. I don't hate it, but
yeah,
you will soon.
You'll be right.
Believe me, just join us, you will see it.
Okay, fair enough.
Great. And so we also had Ravi Kiran on with microservices. What are some of the stuff with microservices that everybody sees going on today?
Yeah, right now that's a very buzzword in Java and any architectures. So everyone talks about microservices. If you see a lot of stuff in microservices, okay, if you see any job openings, first word you can see the microservice. expert in microservice. Okay, that's not the case actually. Literally speaking, okay, that's a very small this thing. So tomorrow that may come to nano services also. Right now people are moving towards more smaller than services. So nano services sort of a thing is there. So next year, mostly we can able to listen most buzzwords like nano services.
Great. And then for Hayata, what are some of the interesting trends and topics that you're seeing on DZone today? Anything you want to share on that side?
Yeah, so we have a quick update, which is very exciting to everybody who contributes articles to DZone. So, but if you go to the CMS, we updated the CMS last evening, and we have a new field for title tag. So, DZone CMS used to be H1 equals SEO title, but you can have a detailed H1, and then you can have short-term title for search engines now. So if you have any questions or you can't find a new field, let me know, because this is very exciting for SEO. So I just wanted to give you a quick update.
And that's the meta field that people can now see, right?
Yeah, it's called meta title. Yeah, if you go to the CMS, it's on the right side. So yeah, you can find it. Yeah, so you can have a detailed H1, long detailed, H1 for page title, but you can have an SEO title for search engines now.
Great. And what's your phone number if people have a question on that?
911 and extension.
Awesome. And then for everyone here, I guess Samantha asked if everyone here is going to get together and do a group article on DZone. What would our article be, I guess?
New buzzwords?
Most hated buzzwords.
Buzzword definitions. There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That would be a great content. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. And now that everything, at least in some places, are going to start to open up for every guest here, like what is like that number one vacation that you hope to do once everything sort of gets to normal to wherever you are? Is there a location? Hawaii, Netherlands, Poland, Chicago, Philadelphia?
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. Whoa.
Hey, close and ready to go. I'm ready to hit the beach.
So we got a beach here. So beach is always great. We got one like 2 hours away here in North Carolina. What are some of the other stuff, vacations, hot spots you're hoping to go to?
I'm actually taking a vacation next week, and we are going to St. Germain in Wisconsin, which is very close to Lake Minocqua. I'm in Illinois, so I have to drive about 8 hours, but it's like Wisconsin is so beautiful in summer. Yeah.
Great. And then for Ravi Kiran, Bartek, Alariza, any hot spots you hope to get to?
No, Blake. Right now, everyone is locked down.
Okay, still locked down. I know.
Yeah, we are here in
India,
Netherlands.
India lockdown. Right now, I'm in India, so lockdown.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we got a question in chat, so let's jump on that one. So if someone wants to take this, I'll throw it up there. Got a question from Umesh.
Oh, okay. I saw the question. I can answer, even though most of the similarities are available between DevOps and SRE. Why? Yeah, actually, this is a good one. This is exactly one of the things. I think to mention this, the site reliability engineering is a title which is invented by Google. And before that, we had the DevOps we had the DevOps as a title of the engineers which were doing the DevOps practices. But Google found the DevOps not really enough for the job they needed to do, and they come up to some practices which was quite different from the way you see it as a DevOps, and that's why they actually came up to a new title which is called Site Reliability Engineering. And unfortunately, at the moment, it mixed up with the other jobs that we have. So not necessarily every company is hiring this SRE engineer and really knows what the SRE means and how it's different from the DevOps, because we really don't have that 100% clear definition for either DevOps or SRE. But for the SRE, we had some sort of definition from Google. There is a site reliability engineering book from Google, which clearly the Google engineers defined how they actually work as a SRE under site reliability engineering. So I think the reason mostly is that most of the big organizations still don't know about the SRE and if they really need the SRE or not, because this is something you really need to see if you really need that type of job, that type of practices inside your organization. And it's not just a trend or fancy title you think if you can use it, you might get successful in your team or your project. It's a matter of what do you really need and what can help you. I hope I gave some sort of clarity to your question.
All right, thanks for that, Alariza. We'll see if we have any more questions for today. It's a holiday week here, so all the days feel off. I think it's Thursday. We had Monday off, so it just throws everyone off. But it is Thursday, one more day before the weekend. Not seeing any other questions come in. So what is everyone working on next for DZone? Anything sort of upcoming that you're excited with, either reading or contributing on DZone? Feel free to answer that one, and then I'll let everyone get about their day.
Looking forward to having my 8 questions article up tonight. Looking forward to that.
Excellent. Thanks, Nick.
Waiting for 100,000 pages finally.
Yeah. Be sure to check out Bartek on DZone. Let's get him to that 100,000 page views. Share it across your socials. Share it on your internal Slack. Let everybody know about it. Just grab that link. Share it out everywhere possible. Tell your family, your friends, your coworkers, everybody. Let's get them to that 100,000 page views. So we definitely can do that. And then Riza will be working with on some events. Got some exciting articles. And then Ravi Kiran, I know sounds like you got a ton of stuff that we can look forward to coming up over the months here for 2021. But yeah, so we kind of run over today. So this is our second episode of DZone Live, really to connect our authors, our creators, with our readers and audience, really interconnecting all of us, giving us a platform to share, whether it's life updates like a wedding or talk about industry trends or industry buzzwords like shift left and that type of deal. So let us know in chat and reach out to us with what you want to see from us in the future. But thanks to everyone for being a part of the DZone family. This is Blake. We got Hayata, Nick out of the East Coast, Ravi Kiran, wishing everything going well there. Hopefully y'all get out of lockdown here soon. Thanks to Bartek. Just amazing work here of late. Your articles are off the charts. And a huge thanks to Alariza for all that you do. Just hugely appreciated here by all of us at DZone for all your work and taking time out for others. And everyone else, just thanks for reading and being active on DZone. That is it for episode 2. We will see you here in about 2 weeks on Thursday, 2 weeks from now for episode 3. We're going to have on the CTO of Rookout with us, and that's going to be exciting. So stay tuned for that, and have a great rest of your Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.